Good morning everyone, and welcome to day 3 of Camp NaNoWriMo. Since yesterday's sound quality was a little shit, we're gonna try with the microphone today. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it is a little bit windy right now, so hopefully it'll help with that. Who knows, I may just end up recording this all over again. But I am headed to the coffee shop. It is about 10:30 in the morning, so much earlier than the first 2 days. I wanted to get up early this morning because it's been super fucking hot every other time I've gone. And I wanted to try and avoid that. Fingers crossed there are open tables at the coffee shop, because a lot of the times when I've gone there in the morning, even as late as 10:30, it's been really packed, and it's usually not around lunchtime. So this is like definitely taking a risk headed there right now, but we shall see. I am not entirely decided on what I'm going to be working on today. So yesterday, when I was finishing up writing the wedding scene, I ended pretty much at when they kissed and when they were pronounced husband and wife. So I don't know. I'm very tempted to write the after wedding scene because writing smut is always fun. But I feel like also that I've built it up so much in my head, I'm just not going to do it justice. And one thing I was struggling with yesterday, and even on day 1, was like figuring out what part of the story to tell from which character's perspective, because this is a multiple point of view book. When I was writing the scene yesterday, I just ended up giving up, and just whatever sentence came out in whatever POV, that was how it got written down. There's like pros and cons to that, right? So, you know, I could argue that because these characters' lives are becoming so enmeshed with each other, they're getting married, it would make sense that their points of view would start to blur together. But at the same time, I don't want it to be confusing to the reader. I think I'm gonna try that today. I think I'm gonna try to continue to write their points of view being more, you know, not so hard cut, and them being more intertwined. And if I don't like it, you know what? I will just end up rewriting it, because I can always rewrite. I can't edit words that aren't there. So if I like it, hey, I mean, I did a cool thing. And if I don't like it, I'll just do it again. I've really embraced rewriting lately, and it has been kind of freeing to do that. Not putting all this pressure on myself to do it right the first time. If I make a mistake, I can always go back. I can always make another document. It doesn't have to be, you know, this is the end all be all of whatever it is that I'm writing. But yeah, let's head to the coffee shop and see what I can get done in however long I end up staying there. And we are back from the coffee shop, and that actually did not feel terrible. I was only there from about 11 to 12:30, and I got everything done that I needed to get done. I got all my words down. I think final word count ended up being like 17, 20 or something like that. And it was great. It went a lot better than yesterday. The flow was there. Motivation was high. And yeah, it was just really nice. I was worried when I was going there, because as soon as I walk up, I see the line to the coffee shop out the door. It was just ridiculous. And I was thinking to myself, shit, am I going to have to go to Starbucks? Like, am I just gonna get coffee and then go home and write? But when I walked in, there were like 4 tables empty. It was crazy. Like, there were so many people in line, but there weren't that many people inside. So it ended up working out. I was a little bit sneaky about it too. When I was standing in line, like this table that was empty next to me, I just like set my backpack down really quickly because I didn't want it to be taken by the time I had ordered my drink. That was actually a smart move on my part, because as I was standing in line waiting to order, all of the empty tables started to fill up. So yeah, that's definitely a really busy time. And it kind of worries me because I'm getting ready to begin a month long of house sitting for my boss. So that includes me taking care of their dog. And he has a very like kind of set schedule for when he goes on walks and when he eats and things. That was kind of one of the reasons why I was excited to start NaNoWriMo, because I knew that I would have this set routine with him, taking care of this dog and looking after their house. So I figured that if I was already going into something where I had a set routine, it would be easy to then add on to the routine that I'd have established with watching the dog and go on to like add my writing routine to that. But at the same time, it also means I'm going to have to be juggling like being at their house with the dog and then coming back over here during the day to do writing and taking care of the cats and taking care of my house and everything. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go, but at least it's going to make me have kind of a set routine for the rest of the summer, getting up and taking care of the dog and things. So all I need to do is just layer in writing into that routine, and hopefully it'll be something that I can stick to for the rest of the year after I'm done house sitting. The words that I got done today felt really good. Like yesterday when I was writing, I knew that a lot of the stuff I was doing I was going to have to rewrite, but the stuff that I got done today didn't feel like that. It felt kind of like very final and a lot more polished, so I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of editing to this when I get to that point. Again, like on day one, this was kind of an anticipatory scene. It was like the lead up to them, you know, consummating their marriage. And I definitely like writing those like anticipation scenes. But I think when I go back tomorrow, and I'll probably end up writing the full sex scene after that, I think I'll still be excited to write that because I was a romance writer. I like writing romance. This isn't a romance story, it's fantasy, but it definitely has a lot of those romantic elements in it. And so I'm looking forward to writing it. So far as what I was worried about before I went into the coffee shop to write with the POV stuff and everything, I actually ended up writing the entire 17, 20, or however many words it was from one character's perspective. And I might just end up sticking with that for the whole scene, just because she's the female character, and I don't know, sex seems a little bit more important from a female character's perspective, especially since this particular character has a touch aversion, and that's like very central to the scene, wanting to write her experience and what she's thinking and feeling as they're, you know, going through the motions and getting to that point. It just, like, that was just where I felt the scene needed to be, and I'm pretty happy with it. I might try to write a version of the scene from his perspective as well, but that probably would be, that would only be like, I don't know, if I got to the end of July and I couldn't think of anything else to write. I think going forward with Nano, I also want to take time in the evenings after I've done like vlog editing and stuff. I want to take time to sort of plan out what I want to write for the next day, because going in blind like I have been for the past 3 days and just like deciding what to write once I get there has been a little detrimental to my workflow. So if I have sort of not necessarily an outline for myself, but at least a direction to go in, I think that'll be a lot more helpful as well. But that is going to be it from me for day 3 of Camp NaNoWriMo. Let me know how you guys are progressing in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!